Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and would you join me at the end of what is another very long day? And the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, is that this one is going to be, it's going to end relatively soon. It's just, even as we speak, work goes on as normal, and there we go. Okay, and I may as well just look. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I was just in the middle of a correspondence at the moment. It's a good word, that correspondence. It's again one of those sort of things where even in perhaps a life maybe not as relatively familiar as mine at this moment in time, that does not necessarily mean we have any less reasons to explore or to try out certain different things. Life, ladies and gentlemen, and this is, again, my own personal philosophy, so take this as you will, but it is something I've always considered when it comes to the meaning of life. The meaning of life, ladies and gentlemen, is to be lived. And how does one live a life? Well, to live a life, ladies and gentlemen, is entirely how you decide to make of it. It is within your choice, it is within your power, it is within your own destiny to live life the way you want to live it. Now, of course, it might be a difficult one in many sense, because many of us have, well, what actually obligations really are there? I mean, I could just stop going to work, I could stop paying bills, I could just stop doing all of that, and of course, I would be rendered home. I'd be rendered, homeless, basically. I'd be forced to leave, and I would have to spend the rest of whatever I had left on the streets. Again, these are sort of, it's a very difficult thing, how it like conflicts with the idea of like free will and how do you really want to live the rest of your life. But at the same time, I don't want to live my life just not doing anything else. That's not the idea of living. The idea for me, for like the purpose of living, is to live your life, live the life that you want to live it. And in that sense, ladies and gentlemen, well, the fact that even I'm entertaining the idea of wanting to increase for the next couple of weeks, of wanting to increase my working hours from 58 to 82, because I'm not counting, the things I do on YouTube, as like work in the more terrestrial sense. I mean, I still haven't got to beyond the threshold at which I could actually be sent the money I get, I earn through ads, yada, 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 and stuff like that. When I do, that's when I could consider this a job. But even then, I work whenever I'm not sleeping, ladies and gentlemen. That is the honest to God truth. And it could be exercise. I could be earning stuff through like sweat coins, or just getting my steps in, because I managed to lose half a pound today, and I need to lose more than that, basically. I do this because I'm getting into the idea of like, I can physically see myself as being a high achiever, somebody who wants to do well in their life. I may not have made the best decisions in the past. Some of them might have been beyond my control. Some of them are egregiously out of my reach. But no, that was then and this is now. I'm not bound by things like education or the confines of a school, or through a very grim university professor who looks down savagely on anything else and stuff like that. I'm not confined by those sort of parameters anymore. That was the first part of my life, which is it may not seem too great in all honesty, but then again, I think those people who would fight to the bitter end for something even equivalent to something like that. But this is my life, and that's just one of the things that happened in my life. Now, like I said, now that I'm like a whole month and a half into going into what I like to call the second part of my life. I mean, in 7 weeks' time, I will be 25 years old. I would have been on this earth a quarter of a century. If I do not start doing good in my life, in my 25 years, then it's going to make a lot of things in the future very, very tricky. Because, to be honest, I honestly do... I get the impression, and tell me if you've ever thought about this before, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's got to come a point in your life where you think to yourself, you know what, for all the things we said we were going to do when we were younger, or the things we had in plan, stuff like that, this would seem like the good time to start making those things happen. And it's not as if like I'm working, you know, so those I'm not working against them. It's just it's complicated is the word I could use. And the only reason I'm using the word complicated in this sense is because it's involved a lot of like personal sacrifice, like becoming more reclusive, or barely seeing a lot of my extended family, or doing what I have to do just so I have a chance. I want my chance, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been lucky to even get a second one like this one. And I've got to make the most of it. Because I'm quite far into it, if I'm honest. And we haven't even begun yet, if you know what I'm saying. So that's just how that is. So I will look forward to seeing all of you guys again in the next video tomorrow night. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. And I will do some proper updates then. Thank you.